Everybody wants to be successful in their life. What I'm trying to explain here is the comfort zone. When it is like this, we will say that this is comfort zone for them. You will not be able to see two images at the same time. That works as a filter to decide what information to come in and what information to stop. And the goal needs to be outside of your comfort zone. We use the words like image training or visualization. The key thing that is needed is this one and this one. You need to set the goal and increase the sense of reality of the goal world. Is some kind of hidden secret key of the autonomy. When we talk about our brain that is supported by the cognitive science, our brain will only generate energy that is necessary to maintain the status quo. The goal is the key. Our brain will work to realize your goal. Good morning, everybody. My name is Kazuyoshi Hisano. Today I'm speaking from Japan, and I'm so excited. I'm so glad that I'm given an opportunity to speak in front of Australian audience. And as Ed mentioned, not only Australian, but many people from the globe is joining. Thank you very much. I'd like to say thank you to Ed, who has given me opportunity for this, and also I would like to appreciate Mr. Norman Budek, who has introduced me to this opportunity. He is working on to translate my Japanese book into English. And now I'm going to talk about this topic, a new way to be successful in this difficult and uncertain world. Myself, I am a business coach supporting CEOs and the leaders in Japan. And also, I'm supporting some top sports athletes. And so I am doing these kind of things to the people who is really aiming for something high. But at the same time, I'm trying to provide my knowledge and experience to everybody who wants to be happy and enjoy their life and also want to be successful. Because of the COVID-19, we are encountering a difficult days. Japan has been also severely hit by this. But I'm looking at the good side. Without the COVID-19, I wouldn't have been able to talk in front of you. So I'm looking at the good side. And what I'm going to deliver today is the tips that you can utilize for your life. And the key thing is, if you see on the third line of the title, do you know what is necessary to fully utilize your brain? So what I'm going to present is about the brain. What can you expect from this talk? After this 60 minutes, you will gain deeper understanding of yourself, and also you will know what is necessary to be successful. Everybody wants to be successful. I believe so. However, most of us do not know how to do it. Well, what do we need to know? Often we experience this. We started at the same position 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But for some reason, he or she had quickly climbed the ladder, while I'm struggling. What is the reason? What's behind this? There is a secret. What we need to know is the mechanism. What mechanism is it? It's about the brain. It's about the brain. If you understand your brain, it's easier for you to be successful. Let me start with a quiz. I have 5 questions. 5 questions. So all of them are yes and no. Yes and no. Please answer these. Every animal has goals. Yes or no? I mentioned that I have 5 questions. And after these 5 questions, I'm going to run the poll. So after this one, please pause and think for a while. What do you think? Number 2 is, every human being has goals. Yes or no? Number 3, I need to force myself to work hard to achieve my goals. What do you think? Number 4, we're coming back with a poll. Focus is important, and therefore I need to limit the number of goals. This is the last one. Number 5, goals should be challenging, but also should be achievable. Okay, here you see 5 questions, and I'm asking it to run the poll. Can you activate the poll? So I'm going to give something close to 1 minute so that everybody can answer these 5 questions. So if you are participating, please put yes or no, and just follow your intuition. So I think we are getting the answers. Probably I will take some more moment for you to think. Maybe after 15 seconds, I'd like to move on. So you don't need to rush, but follow your intuition and try to find out what the answer would be. It's just a small quiz or game, so just enjoy. Okay, I think we got fairly reasonable number of the answers, and I would ask Ed to show the result. Can you kindly show the result? Okay, interesting. So you can scroll and go down and see. So every animal has goals, yes, and every human being has goals, yes. Number 3 is relatively no, is higher. And what about the following? Okay. So let me go through the 5 questions. And okay, thank you for showing it. And I'm going to go back to the presentation, Ed. So the answer is this. I'm going to show this answer in this context. So I haven't defined anything yet. But I would ask one thing. Can you find any word that is common among these 5 questions? What is it? If you have found it, and is there a chance that I can use a chat bar? If you're familiar with Zoom system, you can use a chat bar to type in the answer. Thank you. Thank you very much. So somebody has written goals. Yeah. And also, I haven't mentioned yet, but if you have a question, please write that in the Q&A. I try to answer as much as possible. For this sake, so please type in the answer. Yes, you are all saying goals. Yes, that is it. So I'm going back to the presentation. Thank you very much for the participation. So the answer is yes, yes, no, no, no. I know that you felt that the questions are a little bit tricky. And it is because I wanted to explain what goal means in my concept. So goal has a meaning, of course it has, but we are using this in a specific way. So let me explain this. First one is every animal has goals. And my question is what that will be. The answer is, if you could type on that, please type. But I'm going to tell you, it's to survive. Yeah, great. Survival, yes. Every animal wants to survive, and they do various things like eating, sleeping, and the activity for reproduction. Those kind of things are to survive. And number 2, human being. Of course, we are a kind of an animal. As a kind of an animal, our goal is also to survive. That is the minimum. We all have experience when we are going through the COVID-19. However, it's a little bit complicated because if I ask you whether your goal is to survive, you may pose, well, yeah, I wake up in the morning and go to work, and that's for survival, but it's not just that. I want to be something more. So human being is something more than just surviving. But still, the goal is kind of there, important to survive. Number 3, this is a bit tricky. I need to force myself to work hard to achieve my goals, and the answer is no. The reason is that because I want to implement one concept that is called want-to-goal. Want-to-goal compared as opposed to have-to-goal. And have-to-goal is something that you have to do. And there are want-to things that you really want to do. So think about it. Which is powerful? Of course, you wake up in the morning and you sometimes feel that you don't want to go to work. You're tired. But that's part of a bigger want-to, right? Like you want to live or sustain your life or make a good living or things. So as part of a bigger want-to, you have a smaller have-to that you have to go. But that is a kind of a structure usually. So even if you feel that it's have to, you feel that you have to force yourself to do something. But it's want to. So if you are really feeling that you have to do something, I think you are in trouble. You need to do differently. You need to stop doing that. So if you feel that I need to force myself to work hard to achieve my goals, probably you need to think about having a different goal, is what I want to suggest. So it's a bit tricky, but therefore I put this no to explain this. Number 4 is focus. So in the late part of the 20th century, like the 1990s, you have heard about the word, so big business jargon was selection and concentration, like focusing on something, which is not too bad, which works to a certain extent. But currently, because of the cognitive science, which I'm going to talk about it, in our brain, we know that we are capable of doing many things at the same time. Like you drive a car or ride a bicycle. How many things do you do in parallel without thinking? The reason we can do is because we are letting our unconscious to do it. If we try to do this consciously, all the things, holding the steering, opening the window, using a winker, and talking to your wife or husband, it's impossible. So if you let your unconscious do everything, it's going to be powerful for you. And therefore, if we have a lot of goals and embed them in your unconscious, subconscious, your brain will help you do that is needed. Number 5, I'm briefly touching on, I'm coming back later on, goals should be challenging but should be also achievable. I think challenging part, you have no problem. But achievable, you have an argument. Maybe you have heard about the word SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound. The acronym for that is SMART. And it was said that if you have such kind of goal, that will help you perform very good. But at the same time, there was a limitation for that. This is what I'm going to present. SMART system will kind of hold you to the comfort zone, current comfort zone. This is going to be the big topic of today. So I have covered goal setting briefly and coming back later. And the next one is going to be the comfort zone, which is a popular word these days, but we are using this in a specific way. And there are other key differentiators or kind of elements that I can tell, which I usually do this in a 2-day full session. I'm trying to summarize, condense in an hour, so I will be able to only touch 1 or 2 things. Let me move on.